Hello there, and welcome back to another video, and today I will be unboxing, speed building and reviewing the first model of LEGO set number 31088 Deep Sea Creatures from LEGO Creator 3-in-1. Now this set has 230 pieces and that comes with 0 minifigures. So let's just jump straight into it. So on the front of the box you can of course see the main build, which is a shark, and there's a little crab there. And then of course you can also see the alternate builds with the anglerfish, I think that's what it's called, and the squid. And also down at the bottom there is a warning saying that the models do not float, because of course they're sea creatures, so some people might think that they're supposed to float. Over on the back of the box you can see just some more pictures of the 3 builds in different positions. So you can see the squid there with all its tentacles like spread out. You can see the shark looking really cool with the crab waddling along sideways. And then you can see the anglerfish chasing this fish that looks quite sad, and trying to eat it. Now I am super excited to get into this, so I'm not going to wait any longer. Here's everything that came inside the box. 3 unnumbered bags of Lego. And an individual instruction booklet for each of the 3 builds. Now I am super excited to build this, so today I am going to build this and wrap it up into a very quick speed build. So here is the completed build. Build time today was just under half an hour, and let's just jump straight into it. So the first thing you build is this crab, and I have to say this is a great build for a crab, because there's actually quite a lot of posability in a very small build. So on the front you can see the nice eyes, and then there's just a cheese slope underneath them. I'm not sure what part of the crab that is, I'm not a crab expert. But you can also see it's got some nice rounding on the top of the head. And it's got that tan piece on the bottom. I think that's just somewhere to put that piece for a different build. But anyway, it's got these nice legs with the red feet, and they can be moved up and down, and they can be moved individually as well. Of course it won't stand up if you like that, but also it has this here, so if you want you can actually have it with its feet on the ground and its body on the ground, and then it's looking up, so that's nice. And then the actual pincers, they're attached via a ball joint, so that gives them a lot of movement. And also of course the actual pincers can open and close, which of course is useful for grabbing and pinching things, because you can of course just put it in there and hold it with the pincers. Next you build this little rock with a treasure chest. So I mean there's nothing really special about this. There's a bit of seaweed there, that's a nice piece. Some just simple slopes to represent some rocks. It's on a curved tan base plate, and then the actual treasure chest is set at an angle, which is nice. It gives you the idea that it's resting on the rocks, when in actual fact it's just one of these hinge pieces. So you can have it stood up, but it looks far better like that. And as you can see, there is actually some treasure inside. So we'll just have a look at that. So inside there's 3 of these gold studs. There's 1 gold goblet. There's 2 translucent yellow discs, although I think they're mainly in here because they're used as the eyes for the second build. And 2 of these gems, which would be going in a treasure chest. So yeah, a nice selection of things, and when they're all in the treasure chest it does really look very good. And now onto the shark. Now I think this shark is a great build. I'd definitely say it's the best of the 3-in-1 animals that at least I have. But I'd say it's one of, if not the best that you can get. Because it's just so it's really fun to just play around with, and I think it's quite accurate to how a shark moves. But anyway, down here at the head, you can see some nice details with that eye. That is actually made using a beam piece. I'll just get that out for you. So if you look, that's just a beam piece that goes through a Technic pin and then through this to create the eye. And you can see it looks haunting without it. So I'll just pop that in like that, and it looks so much better. And the actual mouth is really good as well because it can open. And I think that's a realistic distance for it to be able to open. You can't open it any further without like modifying it. And it looks really realistic with the mouth closed as well, especially with these tan teeth pieces used to represent like an off-white colour. And I think it does that really well. There's also these gills here because of course the shark does need to breathe. But then also down at the body section, this bit isn't as detailed, but as you can see there's these fins, there's 1 on each side. They're on ball joints so they can move around a lot. They're not very strong, they're just connected with a couple of studs, but they do the job. And then there's some nice shaping with the roundness. This fin has some really good shaping with the different gradients. That makes that look really good. The bottom's just white, nothing really there. But yeah, nothing really to complain about it, but it's not the best section. But yeah, it's still very good. This back section's nice as well though, because as you can see it's curving out into a smaller section because that's what happens on an actual shark. And then there's also these 2 smaller fins. I'm not sure what all the fins actually do. I'm not a marine biologist, but this is what it looks like on an actual shark, so I'm not complaining. There's also these here which give some nice shaping because as you can see they're curved there, and also this is harder to see but it's actually curved there as well. If I disconnect it you might be able to see it. Yeah, as you can see it's nice and curved there as well, and that gives it some really nice shaping. And then the actual tail looks a lot like a real shark's tail. Because it's got the 2 sections with this big one and then a smaller one. That's just connected with a ball joint so you can move that around, and then they're connected with ratchet joints so you can open them up, but it's more accurate if they're just closed like that. All in all, I think this is a great set. It's got some really nice details, it looks really good, and it's really just a fun one to play around with. Like this crab has a surprising amount of posability and it looks really good, so that's fun to play around with. But this shark, it's so good because you can just like move it around like that. It's so fun. You can't really move it up and down because it's connected with 2 ball joints, but you can if you just separate one of those, and it still does look accurate to what a shark would do, so I'm not sure whether they did that on purpose or not. You can do it down as well, or you can do it in some sort of an S shape. But yeah, this is just such a great set, and there's still another 3 builds in this, but I think this could be sold on its own. Of course there's not really any wave they could put it in, any set line, but this build on its own I think could be its own set. Anyway, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.